don't. I think sometimes when people mix politics and economics, you end up being more politics than economics. And as my colleague has said, if you read the document, you will then realize that this is not for... I think when you asked, have you jumped the gun? I think it has been spinned politically to the extent that people are discussing the political utterances instead of discussing what is actually in the document. Yeah. In the document, it's not import substitution, but it is creating an industry or reviving a cotton industry, primarily for export. So if you look at the Azimio manifesto, if you read the whole document, you see how all these cogs are connected. And one key element of that cog is economic diplomacy, where they're trying to get markets in the region, in the East Africa region, now with DRC there, a big East Africa region, and globally. So they are looking at, we are already good at making garments. We are already exporting $7.5 billion worth of garments under AGOA. We are not limited. How do we scale that up? The main thing has been the costs, because we import 80%. So they've looked at that whole value chain and said, yes, it makes sense. Pose one, you get people who are making cotton again. It's a cash crop. You are creating a labor-intensive in employment, because you will still mechanize irrigation and all, but still use a lot of labor, because we have a lot of labor in the country. So it's not that capital intensive. You are creating jobs along that value chain. What I hope is that it's not the government that is going to go start opening their granaries and all that, but they will create an environment that attracts one private business to open those granaries, or get actually guys from India or Bangladesh who are coming to open the granaries here, because the guys from the Asian markets have a quota into the American market, into the European market. Yeah. So if they set up a factory here to make the granary and even make clothes here using our local labor and our local cotton, they can circumvent that quota, because it's now rules of origin. It's now coming from Kenya. So I look at it as a cog that is being created, and the local market is actually a byproduct, as in, if we have a surplus, then the Mutumba market will die a natural death because they will have to get rid of this surplus. But the main aim, which we should be discussing, is there a market for textiles globally? Is there an opportunity for foreign direct investment in that sector? What needs to be put in place for us to attract that foreign direct investment, for those people to come and set up factories for granaries, for weaving and all that, to absorb the unemployment problem that we have, increase income and uplift our people from poverty, and in the at the same time, or by the way, we can actually now start seeing Mutumba dying a natural death, as people can now afford more quality clothes, technology transfer through FDI and all. So we need to look at it from that way and not discuss it from the political spinning that came out of what people heard the Prime Minister say, and without even reading the document.